Springhill Toyota High School Showdown. I'm Mike Herndon.
I'm Brad Lowell.
We're here at Springhill Toyota on Government Boulevard at I-65. We're going to talk a little bit about some high school football games coming up this week. First of all, let's talk a little bit about last week. Had several good games around the area. What jumped out at you?
I think a couple of games. One, Centronell defeated Faith Academy. They off to a really good start this year. I think they're 3-1 overall, 2-0 in region play. So they're seems to be going in the right direction with Coach Funk. Alma Bryant got another win under their belt, a region win this time. First region win in a couple of years. And it seems like Coach Hain over there is doing a really good job.
They got to be excited down there, 2-2. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I think
last
so.
Year, they got to be pretty excited about that.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, and I saw Davidson and Theodore last week at 17-0. Theodore's offense had really been clicking coming into that game, at least until the last couple of weeks. And Davidson's defense, I tell you, is just lights out.
Yeah,
they're
I think
really, really good.
And they given up only about 26 points.
25 points
in
all
5
year.
games.
Yeah. And Theodore actually was moving the ball in the first half. Had a couple of bad turnovers right when they looked like they were getting things going, which really killed their momentum, and Davidson took advantage. So Davidson looks like, you know, they lost to McGill early in the year, they lost to Daphne early in the year, but really seem to be rolling now.
Yeah, they've only had one region loss, so I mean they're putting themselves in a good position toward the end of the year to set themselves for a playoff berth possibly.
Right. And the two teams we're talking about here tonight, LeFlore and Vigor, both won. Both came off a little bit of sluggish starts, and both seem to be putting it together a little bit now.
Yeah, Vigor started off the year 0-3. They've bounced back with 2 wins, back-to-back wins. So they've seen Coach Scott. I know those guys are working really hard and seem to be getting back on track. And of course, LaFlore's coming off a win too, and they seem to be kind of in that region mix also at this point. So it should be an intriguing matchup.
2 good rushing attacks. LaFlore, particularly Dwan James, 275 yards rushing against Gulf Shores. Wow.
Yeah. So that's a lot of mileage.
That's a lot of mileage.
That's
Job
right.
one is to be stopping that guy for Vigor. We'll see if they can do it. We'll talk a little bit about to both coaches, find out how Vigor plans to stop that rushing attack and what LaFlore plans to do to attack this Wolves defense. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Springhill Toyota. That was the LaFlore Rattler Marching Band, and I'm here with LaFlore quarterbacks coach Jermaine Bush, standing in for Coach Schamberger tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Rattler season so far and looking toward this game with Vigor. Coach, welcome. Tell us a little bit about how the season's gone so far. 2-3 coming into this game. Look for a tight matchup tonight.
Yes, we started off slow a little bit this season, but it's picking up. The kids are really coming around and beginning to pick up the schemes and the different things that we are coaching them to do. And each week is getting better and better, so we just keep on working to get the kids where they need to be.
Obviously, the running game with Dwan James is working very well. Obviously, 275 yards against Gulf Shores. Tell me a little bit about him and why that running game is working so well for you right now.
Well, DeJuan is a great kid. He's real humble. He just loves just a football player. DeJuan, whatever you ask him to do, he does it. He gets on the field. He comes out and work hard every day, and he's just, real fundamentally sound. He studies the game. He studies the tape when we're in the film room. DeJuan just, he do everything that you want from a football player. Then he can play multiple spots because he just, like I said, he's always ready to do whatever the team needs him to do. You couldn't ask for a better player than DeJuan.
How's the offense coming together around him now that we're 5 games in?
It's coming together real well. The linemen are beginning to get a whole lot better on the front line. Players begin to respond to DeJuan. He's a leader with them, vocal leader on the field. He keeps them up. They like blocking for him. They like running, and as you can see, it complements the receivers when DeJuan runs the ball well because everybody begin to kind of crowd the box and everything. So it opens up the game for all the players around him. He's making everybody else around him better by being the type of player that he is.
Well, Coach, we see that you brought a few players with you. You have one sitting beside you. Can you introduce him and what position he plays?
This player on the side of me is Vontre Walker. He's playing cornerback and everything. Vontre is doing a good job for us. And Vontre, you want to talk?
Yeah, absolutely. We're sitting over here talking about offense all night. Tell us about the defense and how you guys have been coming together over the season.
Well, the defense, we still got a little more work to do. We start off slow, real slow this season, but going into game 6, it's got better, a whole lot better. We come together as a team. We learn how to work with each other, talk to each other. Communication is key on defense. So yeah, we got better with that.
Vigor's offense looks like it's come together the last couple of weeks. What have you seen in getting ready for them, and what do you need to do to slow them down?
Well, at my position, cornerback, film study is very helpful, and the offense, I honestly think I can, as a leader, I can put my defense in a position to where build that confidence up, have them ready for that offense game. Stop the run game, the pass game. I think we're ready.
Coach, these schools are only about 10 minutes apart. Tell me a little bit about this game as a rivalry game. Is Vigor kind of a big rival for LaFlore? Do you guys get pumped up for playing them?
Oh, yes. We got, Vigor has always been a football school, powerhouse school. So we at LaFlore always, we're close together, like you said. So we have a lot of friends that play for Vigor. So the tradition is real deep. So as we play against them, we get at it on the field, but at the same time, when we come together and, good sportsmanship, it's a hard fought game all the time, every time you play Vigor. But like I say, the good thing about it is we meet on the 50, shake hands, and there's no bad blood with us like that.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little bit more with Coach Bush here. Welcome back to Springhill Toyota. We're here with LaFlore quarterbacks coach Jermaine Bush, and we got a new player with us now. You want to introduce him and tell us what he plays?
Yes, this is Orlando Smooth. He plays strong safety for us. Orlando is doing a great job at strong safety for us, and real smart kid. Know football, and he put the other players in good position. So, Orlando.
I'll ask you the same questions we asked earlier. Tell me a little bit about this facing this Vigor offense. It seems to be coming together a little bit, and what do you see out of them, and how are you going to be able to slow them down?
Really, you gotta. All you gotta do is stop their run game and just play your position and do what you got to do.
Have you had a lot of success stopping the run this year?
Yeah.
Coach Bush, I know you guys play in a very tough region, and a lot of people, even throughout the state, claims that, say, Region 1 could be probably the toughest region in the state. Talk to us a little bit about that region, and y'all put yourself in a pretty good position, being 2-2, kind of halfway through the year.
Yes, this region is really a tough region. You got to get up every week for each team. Each team is well prepared, and like I said, when we go in, we know each week we tell our players that you have to take it another level each week, because everybody we play always bring their A game. It's like, there's no week that you can take off. Every week you got to be prepared, and we do that through film study, and like Orlando was saying, trying to put the kids in key position, because we know that, like you said, this region here is probably I think is the toughest region that's out there right now, because like I said, everybody is playing, top level. The coaches get their guys mentally and physically prepared each week, so you can't take a break. Each week you got to be on your A game. There's no room for errors or this or that. That's how close the region is. Right. You make a two errors, you might lose the game. Right. So each week you're trying to get your team physically and mentally tough to be able to accept whatever challenge that they have to face.
Orlando, I know Coach talked about making your team, or having to be physically and mentally tough. Is that some of the things y'all stress at practice?
Yes, we stress it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially defensive guys. People don't realize that not only do you have to be a very physical player, but you also have to be mentally strong in order to endure what you have to go through for 4 quarters of football.
That's right.
We've talked a lot about running game, we've talked a lot about defense, but your specialty's quarterbacks. How the quarterbacks playing for you this year?
They're playing well. We had I had 2 solid quarterbacks. The one early in the year, he got hurt. It rolled up on his ankle and everything, but we got a senior this year that's playing quarterback from last year. He's doing very well. He's taking his reads. He's making the right decisions for us with our run game and different things like that. He's putting the team in position to win the game and everything. So that's all you can really ask of the quarterback, is to manage the game in a way that he puts the team in position to be able to win at the end of the game. So,
well, Coach, what are some things, pretty much halfway through the year, what are some things you think that LaFlore has done really well leading up to this point?
It goes back to, like you said, we preach each week to our kids to be mentally tough because of going through adversity. I think that helped them a lot this year. I think that this team is very, if it's a bad situation or a bad play, they don't get down. They learn how to fight through adversity and everything. I think that that's the difference this year than, other years, that this team here is very mentally tough when it comes to adversity and everything, because physical-wise, they're as physical as anybody that we're playing, and at the same time, they're smart guys. They, like I said, they make good decisions. They what they're supposed to do. They do their assignments and everything. So I think when you really look at how this season is going and everything, I think each week that they got stronger in that area right there.
Right.
Well, stay with us. We'll watch a little bit more of the marching band and be right back. Welcome back to the Springhill Toyota High School Showdown. We're ready to talk a little Vigor Wolves. We're here with Vigor coach Derek Scott. Welcome back, Coach.
Well, thank you much. Thank you for having us.
Imagine you're feeling a little bit better now after a slow start to the season. Got a couple wins under your belt. You feel like this team's got some momentum coming into this game tonight?
I think so. We're starting to play well, play Vigor to the type football we thought we would be capable of playing early, and it takes some time.
What do you feel like has helped you turn it around, and what's working well for you now?
Well, I think it's more of a commitment to the run game and getting the ball to our running backs, which we felt that were some good players on our team, and allowing them to go and do what they do best and know how to do. And all those guys grew up knowing what to do with the football in their hands. So it was something that we felt like we had to get more grounded in the run game.
Speaking of the run game, Jalen Whitsitt, about 130, 135 yards last week in the win over Wilcox Central. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about him and what he brings to the offense.
Well, Jalen has always been a dynamic young man for us with the ball in his hand. Early on, we were just talking about this earlier this week, about early on in his career, he had a tendency to forget plays and stuff like that, but now he has a resurgence of understanding of what to do and the plays that we're running, and so he's really starting to come on with the ball in his hand. He's very dynamic and he's elusive, and he's getting to the point now he's running with a lot more confidence. So.
Well, Coach, I see you got a young man sitting beside you. Can you tell us who that gentleman is and what position he plays?
This is Jeffrey Thompson. Jeffrey is a senior for us and also plays quarterback for us as well.
Jeffrey, what is your thoughts toward Vigor's progression over the last 2 weeks of not only, notching your first win of the year, but back-to-back wins? Like Coach said, do you feel like you're starting to turn some momentum for this year?
Yes, sir. As a coach, he always tells us every day, it's going to be another day. You're going to have adversity every day at practice. He always tells us adversity. He said, just overcome adversity and you will get your first win.
Right. These schools are pretty close together, only about 10 minutes apart. You feel like this is a big rivalry when you play LaFlore?
Not necessarily, but it will be Friday. Yeah.
It's just the next one on the schedule, huh?
Yes, sir.
Coach, talked a little bit about running game. Obviously, LaFlore's offense is built around it. With Dwan James, had almost 300 yards rushing last week. What do you got to do to slow him down?
Well, we really had a talk with our guys and really came in and just really spent a lot of time with them, understanding the pursuit and those angles of pursuit, and how do you pursue a guy like DeJuan James? You gotta, be sound and fundamental in what you do. You can't overrun him, and you cannot, lose contain on the front side or, lose your angles on the back side. So we really stress pursuit this week in practice when dealing with DeJuan.
Is there a danger at all of over-committing to the run, knowing what a good player he is, and maybe letting somebody else get free?
Well, I think there's always somewhat of a danger in it, and over, giving one person too much credit. But the point of the matter is that DeJuan is a very good football player for them, and he does a lot for them. He attracts a lot of attention. So you got to be prepared to go out there and try to contain that guy, and don't let him, have a huge night on you.
Coach, going into the year, and you start off slow, a lot of coaches sometimes will want to panic and change a lot of things, but other coaches feel like it's a better time just to go back to the fundamentals. What is your outtake as far as starting slow but starting to build momentum throughout the year?
And really, starting slow had a lot to do with the people we played. Now, let's not take anything away from those teams and those coaches and what they do on a daily basis. Those are some good football teams, and two of those games we really felt like that we had an opportunity to go win the game.
Right.
And the ball just did not bounce our way for whatever may have you. And we're I think as a team we were coming together and really understanding that what it takes to win. And it takes everybody on the same page on every day and going out there and getting it done. And our guys, really stepped up to the challenge and answered the call. And we're getting to a point in our season where we got some good teams that are coming up to play that's really going to determine the outcome of this season for us.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Springhill Toyota, the high school showdown. We're here with Vigor coach Derek Scott, and we've got a new player with us. Introduce player with you here.
To my left, I have Eric Phelps Jr. He's a senior defensive back for us, and he really does a lot for us also in the special teams as well.
Well, Eric, we talked a little bit earlier about the challenge that this LaFlore offense brings against you guys, particularly with their great running game. What have you been able to see with what they've been able to do, and how do you slow them down?
It started off with DeJuan James. He's like a big leader, and he do a lot for them. And like with our guys, we just pursue the ball. We know everybody got to get to the ball to stop the kid. Like he's good, but like with my defense, we gonna be better that night because we gonna get to the ball and 11 people gonna pursue, and we gonna like attack him we gonna attack him. We gonna attack him and get him tired, and we gonna wear him down. Like there's a Vigor way we gonna get physical with him.
What makes him such a good running back? Is it
his effort. His effort. Like he don't want to go down. He don't want to go down. It's his effort.
Keep throwing tacklers at him and wear him down is the idea, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Coach Scott, the beauty of kind of where you are, you got a 2-game win streak coming into a non-region matchup to kind of set the pace for the second half of the season. I mean, technically, you guys still control your own destiny.
Totally.
So can you tell us a little bit about, the region play? Because you guys are 2-1 in the region, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, right now, and I haven't really talked with this team a whole lot about it, but they've heard me say it last year and going into this year. You break the season down into 3 parts.
Right.
And right now, we're just finishing the first half of the season. The first third of the season, I apologize. In the first 5 games, a third of your season, if you're going to play 15 games, you're going to get an opportunity to play 5, 5, and 5. And so this is just the first third. Now we're going to enter into that second third, which is our next 5 games. And we're trying to go 5-0 there. That's the whole goal. You can't get too far. You can't get too far ahead, and you can't get too carried away about in the past.
Right.
You got to stay in the present and move on. And right now, every goal that we've set as a team goal, are still obtainable. Yeah, it was a rocky start, and we dropped one region loss. But I'm gonna tell you, in this region, somebody's gonna lose again.
That's right.
And so our opportunities is all in our hands, and that's what I always want them to realize. And every game we've been in and we've lost this season, I always told them during that game, hey, we still have a chance.
Right.
We still, hey, like when we was in Central Nail, I told them, hey, when they scored with the pick six, hey, we're only down 8. And we went right out there and scored, and I had an opportunity to go for 2 and missed the 2-point conversion to tie the game. So it has not been any game that we played in thus far that I said, oh, you know what, we're just too far out of this.
Right.
And it's all about us.
That's
and
right.
in those first 3 games, turnovers were our Achilles heel. We turned the ball over 3 times against Blunt, which is a very good football team. Also, and then we come back against Baker and turn it over 4 times.
Right.
You know, in Central Nail we turned it over 3 times and had in Baker and in Central Nail they were both pick sixes. So you turn it over with points. So those are hard to overcome.
Yeah.
That's Vigor coach Derek Scott. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Springhill Toyota, the high school showdown. We've heard from the coaches from LaFlore and Vigor, and now we're going to take a look at this week's other games. Pretty much all non-conference games or non-region games this week, but some pretty good games on the list.
Yeah, there's some pretty good matchups this week. One game I'm actually interested to see is Alma Bryan and Baldwin County. Alma Bryant's coming in 2-2, and Baldwin County has a good football team, so I think that would be an intriguing matchup. Another matchup too that I think we have to look into is Enterprise and Theodore. Enterprise is traditionally has a good football team. They might be struggling a little bit. Theodore is kind of fallen the last couple of weeks, so has a chance, an opportunity for them to possibly rebound.
In dire need of a win right now after 2 straight losses.
That's
I
right.
imagine. Absolutely. And then you look at Murphy at Saraland, 2 quarterbacks that are getting a lot of attention. Jack West from Saraland's obviously already committed to Stanford. Maurice Robinson from Murphy's getting a lot of major college looks.
That's right.
Ought to be a very entertaining game to watch. And of course, the game of the week, Blunt and McGill, which is 2 of the better teams in the area. McGill's been, a state contender for several years now, and Blunt's, year in and year out, one of the better teams in the county.
That's right.
Is off to a good start this year. So a lot of attention around that game, and we see on Saturdays where Kadarius Toney, Blunt's old quarterback, is really kind of tearing it up.
Yeah,
one
he
of their
seems
main
to be
weapons.
putting on a little highlight reel each week and doing well.
And some of his old teammates here at Blunt have off to a good start and got a big test this week. So we'll see how that shakes out, and obviously we'll have a great one here on our hands tonight with LaFlore and Vigor, 2 evenly matched teams, duking it out. And stay with us, and the game's coming up.